Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shop Mini RC. I'm Ken, and today we're looking at the TRX4M. I know, we're late to the game. Ironically, so check out the link below. We've got the link. So ironically, we run one of the largest Facebook groups for the TRX4M, and we'll put a link down in the description to the Facebook group. It just happened to be one of the first, we had one of the first videos out, just kind of spoiling it. Actually got in a little bit of trouble with Traxxas for that, and then we started the group, and now we're at like 6,000 members for that TRX4M group. So definitely, if you're interested in the TRX4M, check out the group. And shout out to anybody in the group that's watching. Thank you for joining. You guys are all awesome. It's a great community. Our admins and mods are awesome. So anyway, so all that being said, it was kind of ironic that we have the largest group, one of the first videos on YouTube about the TRX4M, and we didn't get one. We didn't pre-order one because I thought I'd be able to get one from the local shop. When we did finally get to the local shop, they had like a Bronco, and I really didn't want a Bronco. So I was like, well, let me know when the new when your new shipment comes in. They thought they'd be getting another shipment real soon. They didn't, and it just drug on, and then I couldn't get one. And then finally, I made a post in our Facebook group. I'll put a little thing. And a bunch of people reached out and said, hey, we can get you one. So big shout out to these guys. They were able to sell us one, and they included some awesome stuff in our order. We got a Traxxas koozie, which is cool. Some business cards for them, some awesome scale plates for some bigger rigs. Really cool, high quality stickers. Anyway, definitely check these guys out, especially if you're local to them, right? They are in Texas. So definitely check it out. Oh yeah, we even got a Traxxas pen. Anyway, you don't care about that. You care about this guy. Boom. We got the Defender. We opted for the gray Defender. We also got light kit and trailer because they were selling them at their regular MSRP versus a lot of places that are selling them way jacked up in price. So that was awesome. And yeah, let's get this thing open. And there's that. I like how it's saran wrapped. Definitely keeps the small parts from getting busted up in shipping. I'm sure that helps quite a bit. Man, that's awesome. That looks good. I dig it. Is there plastic on all the windows? I can't tell if there's like, no, I don't think there is. I thought there was like a plastic coating on the windows. There is not. So there's the rig. There's the battery. There's the remote or transmitter. There's the charger that we're going to have to figure out a way to chop this off and use it on a good charger because this is not going to fly with us. And that's it. That's everything in the box. What comes with our little pamphlet here? Looks like we have some spring spacers, our T-wrench, some Allen wrenches, and paperwork. Plenty of paperwork and ads. So one of the unique things about the TRX4 is this body mount system, body clips. It's literally just these two little clips here, and you pull them back and the body pops right off. Super convenient. I do like that a lot. The only problem is it does make it harder to put other bodies on. You have to figure out a way to transfer the clips or make custom clips or put new mounts on anyway. Oh, right off the bat, one thing I don't like, these shock mounts. Man, and I think they do this on purpose because then you have to buy aftermarket parts, and Traxxas is all about aftermarket parts. So this truck is more than likely a loss leader for them, meaning that they're not really making much money on the truck itself. What they're trying to make money on are the upgraded parts. So a lot of the Traxxas branded upgrades are very pricey when compared to some of the aftermarket stuff. And there's not a lot out right now, and Traxxas tries to hold it close to their vest so that they can kind of corner the market with aftermarket parts. But over time, new stuff will come out. You're going to get your Enduras and your Trials, and there already is some, but there will be a lot more eventually, and then those you won't have to worry about those parts. So it's still a good deal. But if you're trying to get like the Traxxas branded parts, you're going to be spending a pretty penny. I think the links are like 70 or 80 bucks for the aluminum links. Something crazy like that. Shocks are like 50 bucks, 60 bucks. I don't know. It's crazy prices when you compare it to like the FCX and the SCX 24 markets, and even some of the other 18 scale market stuff. It's just the prices are nuts. But I do wish that these stock shock mounts had a few mounting positions in them, but they don't. It's not like they don't have room in here. There's no interior on either body. They definitely could have made the shock mounts a little wider, given us a couple options so we could, you know, tilt them in or whatever. For now, you can't really do that. You'll have to make custom mounts or 3D print them or buy something. There's the Traxxas dedicated ESC with the very special plug. The center mounted motor, which is nice from a balance standpoint, but it does mean that you might have some issues because these frame rails actually tilt in. So getting a larger motor in there might prove to be difficult given that this frame rail tapers. But that's fine. It just would be nice to have a little more space in there. And then the center mounted servo, which is also interesting. It's good for side to side balance, right? But it means you're not going to have a lot of clearance, especially if you do an upgraded servo. They're longer usually. Let's see. Here's an NSDRC as an example. I don't know if you can see there, but the servo is quite a bit longer, right? Sticks up quite a bit higher, which is fine, but it does mean that if you were to try to do some custom bodies and some custom work and you're trying to lower this guy, your servo is going to hit. And actually, it is very close. You can't really see it in there, but it is already very close on this body. So if you were to try to put some sort of a belly dragger and really lower everything on the body, you're going to be hitting with that servo. So that's kind of unfortunate. I'm not really a fan of that design right now. Maybe there's some benefits. I do like that there's an equal throw left and right, straight from the center of the servo. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like that when you put a bigger, better servo in there, it's going to stick out the back and cause some issues hitting on a body. I do love this battery strap. This battery strap is pretty sweet. It's nice and thick and stretchy and rubbery, and it's not a clip and it's not a rubber band. Let's open up the battery here. It's a 750 milliamp battery, 20C discharge. It's a 2S, obviously. Kind of curious about the size of it. Okay. Oh, that's a nice tag. We'll keep that on there. Just kidding. Okay. They don't want you to take it off. Too bad. Warning, lipos catch on fire. Don't charge it wrong. So proprietary plug on that battery. There are adapters and ways to rewire harnesses, so you can use this with another ESC or use other batteries with this ESC. Just Traxxas trying to be Traxxas, make you buy Traxxas parts. But it does mean that they are able to control the quality, and that's a big reason people do that. It's kind of like Apple in the App Store, right? Like they want to have the ability to manage what kind of products end up on their device. It's actually more like Apple and the desktops that they have. It's even more restrictive than the phone and iPad. But anyway, I dig it. I mean, it feels good. These shocks are awesome. Nice and smooth. Got a little bouncy on this side. I wonder how the oil is in there. We've got some lights in here, and the bumpers. We've got our light kit, so we'll get that installed. Kind of wonder what all. Let's look at this. I'm curious what all comes in this light kit. I think it's brakes and headlights. It's the Pro Scale. So it's got some little clips and adapters. Oh, it says it right on it. It says it right on it. Headlights, daytime running lights, tail lights, reverse lights, and hazard lights. Wow, so a lot more than we expected. It's kind of cool because you don't have to put each individual LED into like the light buckets on here. You just mount this guy on there and it's already got the lights built into it. So that is something very cool. So I think for the price, I think this guy's like 25 bucks. The MSRP, so that's probably worth it if you want the lights. Better than trying to wire something up. Plus, it just plugs right in. It's easy. Definitely cool. So this body, we really like the body. We wanted a gray or a green. The wife and the kids said they liked the gray better, so we went with the gray. I like the scale of the body as far as the details are concerned. It is very close to a 1/18th, so that's nice. I think the Bronco is a little bit off. It's a 1/19th, so it's a little smaller. Or maybe it's the other way. Bronco's 1/17th. I don't remember. You'd have to do the math. But either way, they're very close to actual 1/18ths, which is very good, unlike some of the competition out there who released 1/18ths that are not even close. They're actually way off, but it is what it is. You can watch my video on that over here. Anyway, one thing I wish that this body came with was an interior. Like, they've got all this awesome scale detail, this awesome mounting system, clear windows, which is kind of a rarity for Traxxas, and no interior. Now, I'm sure they're going to sell it. It was a way to get the cost down. Totally understandable. There are a lot of people out there 3D printing interiors, so that's definitely an option. The problem with the 3D printed interiors, it just adds even more weight up front. You'd rather have it kind of a Lexan or poly, super light material to do the interior. But it's better than no interior, I suppose, especially if you're looking for an interior. Obviously, the weight's not going to bother you too much. Some people have been doing some really awesome cutting and changing up this body to put a bed in there and whatnot versus a full cab. They just chop it. Pretty sweet. It's got a snorkel. I dig that. Mirrors. They don't have real mirrors though. High lift. High jack. High lift. Our jerry cans. This does not have a tire in it. It is empty. Anyway, these are stickers. I wish they were molded. It would have been nice to have those molded. And a winch. Now, one thing that's kind of whack about this winch, yeah, I said whack. It's right where the body mount is. I get it. It's just for scale looks, but you cannot put an actual winch in there. Even if you drilled that out, you're going to be hitting right into where your body clip is, and it's just not ideal. You might be able to run a winch through this bottom portion, winch line. You could probably work it through there, kind of where the fair lead is, but again, your clip goes right through there, so kind of rough, but there's not a lot you can do about that if you're trying to have a universal, clip mounting system. From everything I hear, the servo is decent. I don't know till we run it for a while if it's going to be good or bad. We're not going to go crazy in depth with this video, I don't think. I just wanted to get it out there, show you, let you know we had it. We got this guy we're going to throw in here. Look how little this is. This is the new FureTech. Well, it's not new, but it's the Micro Komodo, but it's got a new mount, and that mount mounts straight up to this. And I think these guys come with a pinion. There's also a full set that comes with the motor and the ESC. You will have to change your receiver if you do this, though, which we're not the biggest fan of, but we will probably do it so that we can get the brushless in there, because we want to show the brushless. Just hate having to change the receiver. I wish more companies would do a channel 2, like the V1 axial SCX24, so that you can just plug your ESC straight in and run it. It really sucks. You have to swap out to a totally new remote. I mean, we've got plenty of remotes. We've got a Noble Pro and a regular Noble and a bunch of other stuff, but it sucks to have to lose this and you just collect these and they go to waste. Now, to be fair, this transmitter is not the best. And I think, personally, by far, this is the worst ready-to-run transmitter of all the 18th to 24 scale, hell, even the Mini Z transmitters. There's nothing, there's no features to this thing. You have your steering trim and your bind, and that's it. No channel 3, no channel 4, no dual rates, no throttle dual rate or steering dual rate. There is stuff programmable in the ESC here. Oh, look at that, magic. Light kit's installed. We'll get to that in a minute. But there is programming you can do in the ESC to change your crawl mode or your drive mode to where it's forward reverse, forward brake reverse, or just forward and brake. But as far as setting your endpoints and stuff, you're going to have to use the higher end transmitter. You compare this to a lot of the other transmitters. I mean, we've got the new FureTech 6x6 124 scale that's FCX based. This is their little cheapy ready to run radio. I think this setup's like $30, and at least it's got trim and dual rate and a channel 3 for all the channels. And there's a bunch of features in this that you can adjust inside. You can reverse. There's no reverse. There's not even a reverse on here. So if you needed to do a reverse for some reason, it's not there. The V1 axial, it's got more features. V2 axial, ton more features. FCX Butcher and Max Smasher, channel 4, channel 3, all your trims and dual rates and drive modes, everything's on the transmitter. Throttle reverse, steering reverse. Now to be fair, this is small and not the best feeling in your hands, but it is nice to have small transmitters for crawlers that are small because you throw them in your backpack. This guy is big. It is kind of clunky. I mean, you have to get the stupid adapter to do one-handed steering, whereas almost every single one of these you can one-handed steer, no problem. This guy's a little bit harder, but still better than the Traxxas. And yeah, I don't like this thing at all. It's like a ton of wasted plastic, and they're trying to make it look like it's quality, but it's not. Sorry to hate. It's not. But I would still prefer that the ESC have a channel 2 so we can run a brushless and still keep this remote, because we like to lend out our trucks a lot, and having the stock remote be able to just go with the truck is super nice. Anyway, moving on. All right, so let's go ahead and plug this guy in. I do like that it's kind of an always-on receiver, or ESC. So there's no on and off switch. You just use the battery to plug it in and out, which is a good habit to be in anyway. So I dig that. My tire's off here. Hold on. There we go. So we've got ours in crawl mode. It's got good wheel speed for sure. Have seen a lot about the slow crawl not being the best with the stock gears. But then when you throw the low speed gears in, it just kind of is too slow to trail with at all. So that's where a good brushless upgrade will come in. Slow crawl's not too bad. It does seem to kind of want to not go once you get some resistance on there. It needs more torque. But again, this is meant to be kind of a trail rig, not necessarily a hardcore crawler. The tires are not glued, as you saw. They kind of just pop off. So you're going to want to glue those or get some bead locks or just upgrade your wheels and tires in general. There's this issue here. And that's the tires kind of, on this one, it's the tires rubbing. So if you're to get a little bit extra offset, put some wheel hexes in there, or again, different wheels and tires. Just be careful you don't make it worse. You can't change your endpoint, so there's no stopping that. You just have to be careful when you drive. That's pretty significant, actually. Either way, that can be fixed with some offset. The steering is okay. It's not really the fastest servo from a box stock standpoint. I think the FCX feels a lot more responsive. The FCX servo is fantastic. The SCX servo is no good. You need it. That's like the first thing you replace on an SCX is the servo. But the FCX is killing it with that. So this seems in between those two to me. I mentioned the shock mounting positions. As I look at this, at least in the rear, it looks like you could move your shock mount, the whole shock mount forward one kind of spot here. That'll give you a little more angle, which will give you more articulation and drop you a little bit lower. But on the front, you're kind of stuck with what you got. So I really hate that, but it does give a lot of room for upgrades. I like the skid is pretty flat here. That's nice. You got O-rings on the drive shaft. One thing about this servo, the way the servo is set up, I mentioned earlier that I didn't really like how it's tall, but I think that the servo being completely centered and giving you a lot more throw is why this has such a good turn radius, right? Because this has probably one of the best turn radiuses for its size, and I think it has a lot to do with how they did the servo. So there's the benefit to running the servo like that. Again, I think this is a fantastic trail rig. Just making it a hardcore crawler is going to take a little bit more work than, like, say, the FCX or SCX. But as more aftermarket parts come and upgrades and things of that nature, you know, it'll get better and better. So like I said, we've got the light kit installed here. This guy just basically, it's a couple screws, super simple. Plug this guy in. And then we'll plug in our battery again. And your lights are on. Tail lights. So pretty slick. And this is again where I wish there was a little bit more full-featured remote. On the FCX, you've got a light channel, and on the new SCX version 2, you've got a light channel, and you can change it all from the remote. Any kind of light stuff you want to change here, you got to just click on the ESC itself. And the best light mode, which is the one that kind of shows everything, the demo mode, means you can't drive the truck while it's in demo mode. How dumb. I guess it's for sitting on a shelf, but like, why wouldn't you let us drive the truck? Anyway, so you get your different settings for your lights. Running lights only, headlights, nothing but tail lights. You do have a brake and reverse. Okay, so the light kit is very cool. Again, it's just limitations of the ESC and receiver that suck. Again, the proprietary Traxxas battery plug, but we have a solution for that, and we've got a video on it. Boom. So we got this guy in, and this is a little custom adapter, and you can get this to use with your TRX4. It basically just goes in where your battery goes, bam, and you can use any 2S with a normal balance cable. How cool is that? Bam. We're using an SCX here. You can use any. And that means, I mean, you can use mini B batteries. We've got, like I said, we got a video. You could throw one of these guys in there from your mini B or your mini Capra. Just get rid of this, throw this guy in there. And, yep, perfect. We actually charge most of our batteries strictly through the balance cable on our big charger, full balance. So just like you would charge a normal battery with your lead and this and do all your balancing, we just do it through this. And that helps us not have to change all of our plugs. Although we do usually go over to the red JST plug. Do we have one here? No, we don't have one here. This guy here. Anyway, TRX4M battery is very proprietary, so this thing is awesome. Super awesome. He's also going to be making a adapter for this battery to balance charge it. So you can plug it into this and then plug that into your balance charger with a balance cable. And I believe he's going to be using the red JSTs. So it'll basically be this end here, right? It'll be like this with an end on it that you can plug your Traxxas battery in and charge it on your big charger. So that's what we'll be doing if we don't cut this battery up and rewire it. I'm considering just taking this, cutting it off, and putting a balance cable on there so we can charge it like we charge everything else. Anyway, check out that video. Check out I'll put a link in the description below as well. He's got them on eBay. I think they're like 15 bucks. Totally worth it if you have a bunch of other stuff and you're not about this. This is a Traxxas thing. Traxxas fanboys will love it, but most everybody else do not like this stuff. Oh, speaking of things we've got. So we've already got a whole bunch of upgrades coming. We've got this guy from FearTech. This is a FearTech chassis. And we're going to throw that on here and get it installed. That'll be another video. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all those things you do for the videos you like. And that way, when you like and subscribe, well, specifically when you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll know when the new videos go up. I feel like I'm putting a lot of hate on this thing, but it's awesome. It's an awesome rig. The price point is fantastic. I just wish the electronics were a little better. Other than that, I think it's great. You know, when you compare it to the other ready-to-run 1/18s out there, I think it's definitely top of the market when it comes to the truck itself, right? I mean, when you've got the hard body with all the scale details, even though it doesn't have an interior, that's just awesome. It's great looking. The mounting system is pretty sweet. The light kit is definitely worth getting. I like the fact that it comes with true 4-link, so that's good. You know, it's got a decent servo. The motor seems fantastic. I just wish there were a few more shock mounting points. And yeah, the tires seem good. Just wish I had B-locks, but no ready to run really that I know of comes with B-locks. Anyway, cool truck overall. I dig it for sure. We'll probably end up getting another one at some point. Like I said, we got a bunch of upgrades coming for this guy. Oh, we've even got a Camel Trophy yellow cabbed version coming from 2 different designers. So one body, 2 different people worked on it, and we'll talk about that. So you got to subscribe for that because that's going to be cool, and it is an awesome looking body. You probably, if you're in our Facebook group, you've probably seen both of these guys doing tons of cool Defender stuff. So be ready for that. Be ready for that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut this short. There's not a whole lot more. I'm not going to do a running video because we'll probably have more running videos as we do upgrades. And if you want to watch somebody drive this thing around on rocks, there's tons of videos out there. All right, guys, do all those things you do at the end of a video. And yeah, put down in the comments below, just put TRX4M if you made it to the end of the video. TRX4M. Put it down in the comments. Work it into your comment, if you will. Or just put TRX4M. Whatever. All right, guys, get out there, smash them, crash them, and bash them, but don't break the expensive parts.